So when I was like, this story I'm gonna tell you guys. I tell you these guys stories. Tell you guys what stuff that happened in the past. That way you can learn from it, because there's a lesson to learn from these situations. And I tell you, or these stories I tell you about the past is a lesson to learn from these situations. That way you don't do the same thing, and we understand what respect is. So we understand what type of person I am, because sometimes it gets mistaken what type of person I am just because I have a hard heart or I have a hard spirit. Sometimes because I deal with things a little bit harder with a hard hand than I do with other things. Sometimes I'll let things slide, sometimes I won't. And there's a reason for that. And these stories I tell you, they're there to help you understand the way that my mind thinks, the way that I've dealt with situations in the past, and I might deal with you. So when I was 28, that was like half of my life ago, because I'm 40 something now. No, maybe later, maybe 30 something. Either way, when I was like 28, 31, 32, 33, 34, some shit, I had my second, third, fourth, I think like third or fourth son. His name is Endo. So what happened is I was working at a golf course, right? My homeboy, he hooked up with this broad named Tiffany at the bar, right? And she told me, she said, I got a sister at home, and I think she would like you because you're cute, and I think she would be feeling you. You might want to meet my sister. If you go back to the house with me, you can hang out with my sister, and I'll hang out with your homeboy Duck. My homeboy Duck was Donovan, Desiree's brother. That's my cousin is dating this girl Desiree, and her brother is Donovan. So me and Duck were homies and shit. We were a ride together. So we were sitting there going to bars and shit. We met this girl Tiffany. She said go back to the house, meet her sister Crystal. So I was like, all right, cool. So we go back to the house, meet this girl. I met this girl Crystal. She was a CNA. She's a certified nursing technician, certified nursing assistant. There we go. So she had a little spot. She was renting or whatever. Then there was this dude she was dating. He was a buster. Homeboy was talking to her like shit and stuff. When I showed up, he was talking to her like shit, talking down to her, talking shit to her, making her feel like shit, you know what I mean? I wasn't down with all that. I mean, shit turned sour between us, and I understand why, and maybe I wasn't the man I should have been at that time, but when I first met her, I felt what I was saying, and like I said, I told her, like, fuck this guy, you know, come kick it with me, ditch this dude that you're dating right now and shit. You need to be kicking it with me. He's disrespecting you and shit. You're a queen, you deserve that shit. You deserve to be treated like a queen. Don't let no dude disrespect you like that. You know, I ran game, but it wasn't really running game. It was telling her how I felt, because you know, I'm a hopeless romantic. I like to be romantic with people, but I learned that you can't be that way. But that's who I used to be. That's who I try to be once in a while. I can be romantic once in a while. But so I told her all this shit, and you gotta watch what you tell people sometimes, because then they take that shit to the head too much. But I had told her that, and I ended up hooking up with her. She sent her dude home. I ended up hooking up with her. And I should have realized at that time when she sent her dude home that if it's that easy for her to get rid of her old dude and switch on to me, and then she would be able to do that with me and switch on to another dude, which is what ended up happening. But so I did that. I sent homeboy dude home and ended up hooking up with this broad, and I can't say broad, it was my first wife. You know, alright, so we ended up moving in together, right? I was working at a golf course at this time. We had ended up moving in together with a big ass house and shit. Well, she had moved in with her sister and another dude, a gay dude named Casey. So they all moved in together and shit. I wasn't even living there at the time. I was living with my cousin. I ended up moving in, but they all moved out because I moved in. They didn't like me, I guess. So, anyways, I had took my gang banging habits and my running the street habits and selling dope habits and getting in trouble habits to the situation of trying to be married and have a family and shit, and it didn't work out, you know what I mean? So I chased all her family and friends out of the house, and ended up that it was me and her only, and I had been to the situation where I had to come up with half the rent, or I had to help her come up with the rent, because she couldn't afford that whole rent by herself, and they had ran out on her sister and her best friend. They ran out on her and left her with me, and I can't blame them, but at the same time, shit, I didn't know how to do all that, so I ended up selling dope and stuff, right? Well, I had moved in this dude that was a cokehead because I was selling coke. So I moved this dude in that was a cokehead. His name was Mike. So Mike had thought that he was running shit. He was running his mouth behind my back and shit. And I brought one of his homeboys into the house too. He had said he knew somebody that needed a place to stay. He got a homeboy named Nigga Mac. He's an Afghanistan dude, but he looked black, so they call him Nigga. His name was Matthew, so they call him Mac. So Nigga Mac. This is my boy right here. It's my number one ace cool boom, like a brother to me. So me and homeboy clicked off right away. Me and Nigga Mac got along right away. We became family right away and shit. He joined the hood, 5150 Crip. He joined the hood. So we were both just running the streets, getting that shit, doing our thing. Homeboy had my back more than homeboy that I moved in at first, named Mike. So he kept telling me, like, not him first, but my old lady, my wife, had right before we got married, we were engaged and shit. She kept telling me, like, that dude you moved in named Mike, he keeps trying to hit on me and keeps trying to get in my pants and keeps trying to tell me that I'd be better off with him, and that you're a loser, that you're a buster, that you're this, you're that, that you're nobody, blah, 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 blah. I just kept telling her, because that's the type of person I am, you know what I mean? I just kept telling her, well, he can run his mouth as much as he wants to run his mouth. That's all right. If that's how he feels, that's how he feels. I ain't going to correct him. Let him feel however he wants to feel. He ain't going to run up on me. He ain't going to start calling him. Because that's the kind of person I am. Even when any of my homeboys told me, like, oh, that cat has a problem with you. I'm like, hey, they're allowed to have a problem with me. That's all right. I don't like everybody. Like, they're not allowed to not like me. They're allowed to want to put hands on me. But as long as they know better to do it, or they don't do it, and then they'll be all right. Because once it comes down to it, I'm very good at defending myself. I'm very good at protecting myself from however it may be. Whichever way means by possible. I don't just scoop till we're gonna throw a fade. I scoop till I'm gonna bust your head open. So I kept feeling bad for the dude because he had a drug problem, he had an alcohol problem, so I let him slide, you know what I mean? And that's the time that I figured out you can't let everybody slide all the time when they're running their mouth about you, you know what I mean? So I just kept letting him run his mouth, run his mouth, run his mouth. Everybody kept coming back to me, even his old lady he was fucking with at the time, Holly. She told me, like, yeah, dude don't like you, he ran his mouth about you, blah, blah, blah. Everybody told me, you know what I mean? Everybody that came into my house would tell me the same thing. I just kept telling him, that's all right. He pretends to be my buddy in my face. He's all buddy with me, and he's all kiss my ass and shit. So let him pretend. Like, if that's what he feels he needs to do is pretend that he needs to be my homie and shit, and then run his mouth behind my back. That says more about him than it does me. So I let him do it. I let him run his mouth. And he didn't worry me. I didn't worry about what he was saying because I knew that if he would have acted up, I would have busted his ass off or something. So I let him do that. I let him stay there. I didn't treat him any different. I just let him run his mouth. Because sometimes that's all the people got is running their mouth. And cats like that, you got to let them run their mouth. That shows about who they are, not about who you are. So I let him run his mouth and shit, and then one night he got carried away and his emotions came out because he was high on that coke and he was drunk and shit. And he started running his mouth and all my homeboys were there and shit. A couple homeboys that I had made while I was out in Colorado. That was in Colorado when I lived out there. So homeboy nigga Matt, he's like, yeah, you should just fuck old boy up. But like, nah, I feel bad for him. The other homie, Hefner, Hugh Hefner, we called him, because the motherfucker kept walking around my house in a bathrobe. Cuz told me, he's like, yeah, you should just put hands on him. He's like, I don't know why you let him disrespect you like that. I know he's talking shit about you because everybody keeps telling him, like, nah, I ain't worried about him. Like, if I was worried about him, I would just step on it right away and end that shit. But I ain't worried about it. Like, homeboy don't have no game. He ain't got the best game he got is trying to take advantage of someone that's looking out for him or that's helping him out in the first place. Like, I feel bad for him, you know what I mean? Like, so what? Just let him go. So, homeboy one night, I told him, like, you gotta pay my rent. Like, I ain't fucking with you no more, dog. I ain't playing with you no more. You're gonna have to get the fuck out of my house if you ain't gonna pay your rent. Because he didn't want to pay his rent, you know what I mean? He thought he was gonna live there for free and shit. Tried to get my girl to get with him so he could live there for free or whatever and try to mooch off of her. Which I even brought money into the house. Everybody brought money into the house. Homeboy nigga mad to move in. He brought money into the house, even though he had to ask his mom for money or whatever because he ain't had no money at the time. And I work with him, you know what I mean? I work with people. If you ain't got the money right now, you can go get it and then come back and give it to me. But you gotta pay rent. Everybody gotta pay rent, you know what I mean? So my niceness turned into a weakness real quick. One night he was drunk and high off that coke, drunk off of the motherfucking 40s and shit that we was drinking. He started running his goddamn mouth. You know, and he started saying, oh, fuck you, fuck this, fuck that, fuck that, blah, 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 talking all this shit. And my wife was right there. Well, my first wife, we were engaged at that time. She was my wife yet, but she ended up being my wife. But, you know, she had a lot less heart than me. She was a lot less, not really, she had a lot less heart than me. She had just as much heart as me. That's the only reason I married her, you know what I mean? She's a very strong individual in her heart. But, thing about it is she was a lot less tolerable than me. She was a lot more willing to put hands on a motherfucker than me. That's why she ended up trying to put hands on me and shit, because she thought I'd be more tolerable with her. But she ended up fucking up and putting hands on me and hit me in the face. And once you hit me in the face, I don't got no tolerance for you. So she found that out the hard way. But so homeboy, he ran his mouth and ran his mouth, and one night he was talking about fuck this, fuck that, you're a bitch, and da-da-da-da, which none of that bothers me. Some of these guys, if they hear, oh, you're a bitch, and their feelings get hurt, because they are, you know what I mean? So that shit really hurts their feelings when someone calls them out. Well, that shit didn't hurt my feelings, I ain't give a fuck, you know? So I let him run his mouth. So he leaned back on the couch, and he put both of his hands behind his back, and he said, hit me, hit me, hit me. I know you're a little bitch, you ain't gonna hit me. I'm like, man, I feel bad for you, boss. You're drunk, and like, I'm sober, that ain't a fair fight. Like, I'm gonna end up fucking you up. Like, he's like, nah, just hit me, I don't care, da 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 da. Like, I can take one of your hits, you hit like bitch, da 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 da. And I'm like, man, I ain't gonna do that, dog. I got more heart than that just to be putting hands on a random ass motherfucker that's drunk and shit. I feel bad for you, dog. That's the reason I look out for you, because I feel bad for you, dog. Like, I ain't gonna put hands on you while you're drunk. Wait till you're sober and then hit me up and we can do this. So he kept running his mouth like, hit me already, you fucking bitch. Da, 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 da. I ain't gonna do it. My ex-wife, she's like, my ex-wife, whatever. My ex-wife, my first wife, she's like, I'll do it. She stepped up and he had his hands behind his back talking all that shit. Sticking his face out and shit. So she socked him. Bow! She getting 3 stitches socked him in his face. She knocked him back off the couch and he fell back into the couch, and this motherfucker got right back up talking about, at first I hit him. I barely tapped him just to get him to shut up. I just said, like, barely hit him, you know what I mean? Like, just to get him to shut up. He's like, oh, you hit like a bitch, da 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 da, still talking shit. I'm like, bro, come on, I feel bad for you. I'm trying to give you a break here. I ain't trying to hit you with full force. I just barely hit you just to get you to shut up, bro. Like, damn, you run your mouth and shit. I don't want to hit you like a real man. I'm trying to hit you just like, I can barely tap you just to give you a little wake-up call. But, man, you're really fucking pushing. That coke had him feeling real brave and shit, so motherfucker kept running his mouth. Da, 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 da. So my ex-wife, she hit him. Baya! She hit him like full force, fucking hit him like a honky-tonk white girl. Like, smashed on him. Gave him 3 stitches, knocked him back off the couch and shit. This fool gets back up. My homeboys are laughing and shit. They were his homeboys, but they're my homeboys now. They're only 15. They're sitting there laughing at him and shit. This motherfucker got his face busted open by a female. He got 3 stitches in his face and shit. So this motherfucker got right back up off the fucking couch and started talking shit. I was like, man, don't hit him again, Crystal. Then I feel bad for him. He's like, don't feel bad for me, you little bitch. Your bitch hits harder than you. I started talking shit even harder. I'm like, oh man, you gotta get the fuck out of my house, dog. We ain't doing all that drama shit. Like, just because you feel brave off the coke don't mean that you're gonna be doing all that drama shit, dog. Like, you gotta get the fuck out of my house. Like, I feel bad for you, but you can't be doing that in my house, dog. So I fucking snatched him up, fucking threw him out the back door and shit. That's how much of a bitch he was. I just snatched him up like he was nothing and threw him out the back door. Cause like, let me in. Started beating on my glass door. I have one of the glass doors with the things that slide up and down there in the middle. Cause started yelling like, all right, let me in. I'm gonna fuck you up. You let me in, bitch. So, oh, you gonna fuck me up, right? Okay, let me come out there then. I said, we'll do this outside my house. We ain't doing this in my house. Let me out then. I started pushing the door, trying to get out the motherfucking house, right? As soon as I started pushing the door, trying to get back out of the house, cuz started screaming, come on, motherfucker, like, wouldn't let me out of the house, holding the door shut. I'm like, quit holding the goddamn door shut, let me out there and I'm gonna fuck you up. He's like, you're screaming and hollering and making a fool of himself outside and shit. So I'm like, this motherfucker is making a big ass scene. All right, you want to hold the door shut and talk all that shit? Like I'm not trying to come out the house and fight you, so fuck you. I grabbed the bat and I said, let me out the motherfucking house. This guy said no, and he kept under the door talking all the shit. So I said, all right. And I swooped that the middle glass door that opens and closes right there. I pulled that shit open right there. Whoop! I slid it up, and as soon as I slid it up, I went outside the glass door right there with the back. And so, bing! Fucking caught him in the face right here, across his face. Boom! 10 stitches right there. Split his fucking face open with the bat. And then he moved away from the door, and I was gonna go out, and they're like, no, he got it. He learned. Leave him alone. Let him ride. All right. Like, let him go. That's all right. So homeboy finally moved away from the door and shit. He said, I'm calling the police. As soon as he said that, I fucking took off. Anytime someone says I'm calling the police, I took off. So I took off and shit. The police came. They searched the whole house because he told them, like, this guy's selling drugs and he's in a gang and blah, blah, blah. And he told them everything. Like, fucking ran his mouth, just fucking emptied his whole heart out to the police. Police came to my house, looked around, fucking broke into my safe. All kinds of shit. So I was gone. I come back and asked my ex-wife what happened, and she said, yeah, they said it was a make my day law because he was on your property trying to break into the house and that you smashed on him. So I ended up getting away with that, but at the same time, the lesson to be learned is that you could look out for people, but don't look out for people and let shit slide that you wouldn't let normally slide, because sometimes just by you letting shit slide and sometimes by you feeling bad for a person, that's the kind of person I am. I feel bad for people sometimes, and just by me feeling bad for sometimes for people, they make it seem like I'm a bitch, or they try to pin it out for me to be a bitch or something. But I'm one of those people that I ain't gonna do what I gotta do unless I gotta do it, you know what I mean? I'm not just gonna go out and start problems. I'm gonna let a lot of shit slide just because I feel bad for you, you know what I mean? Because I know what I'm gonna do to you. I'm not gonna just catch a fade with you. I'm gonna bust your ass open when I catch you. So I let shit slide sometimes, but sometimes you can't let shit slide, and that's the whole moral of the story is you can't feel bad for some of these cats. You can't let shit slide sometimes. If you can, you can, but sometimes you can't let shit slide just because sometimes you let shit slide and people think you're a bitch because of it, or sometimes you feel bad for somebody and they think you're a bitch because of it. So in the reality of life, in life in general, you can't feel bad for people and you can't let shit slide. Sometimes you gotta do things about shit, and you can't feel bad for people. Sometimes you gotta realize that when you feel bad for people, people are gonna look down on you or think you're a bitch. And that's the reality of life, and it sucks that it has to be that way. Because all of us, we will naturally look out for other people, you know what I mean? It's another human being, You don't want to look out for people. You don't want to look out for each other. You know, that's how life is. That's how people are. Is we want to look out for each other. You know, but you can't always look out for people. That's the moral of the story. Is you can't always look out for people. You can't always be everybody's friend. You can't always help other people. Sometimes when you're helping people, sometimes when you're looking out for people, sometimes when you do shit for people, they think you're a bitch. So you gotta sometimes cut people off. You can't help certain types of people. You gotta realize what types of people you can't help or you can't help. You know, and I learned that the hard way because I try to look out for everybody all the time usually back in the day, you know. So I learned that the hard way. You can't always look out for everybody. Sometimes people will play you. They'll think your niceness is weakness, and you can't let people take advantage of you. Don't let people play your niceness for weakness. That's the moral of the story. Don't be like Mike. Don't take advantage of people's niceness. If someone's nice to you, don't treat them like a less than, or don't treat them like a bitch just because they were nice to you or whatever. You know, you can't always be nice to people. You know, some people they take it as they're harder than you, tougher than you, cooler than you, better than you just because you look out for them. So you can't look out for everybody. That's the lesson to learn from Mike. You can't look out for everybody.